Loughborough Grammar School is one of the 10 oldest independent boys' schools in the country. Its prospectus proudly states academic achievement is the centre of everything we do. But top of its Twitter page is not exam success, but an apology for racism. It comes after one former pupil shared online the abuse he'd suffered during 5 years at the school.
It started off with name-calling, like the N-word, slave, monkey. I was treated less than a pupil, less than a boy, less than a human. I was hit hard with a cricket bat, constantly slapped and punched. Somehow, someway, if I were to speak, I would truly become the loneliest boy at Loughborough Grammar School.
He also claims he was spat at and smeared with urine and sweat. Police are investigating. Lafita Junaid's son attends the grammar school for boys and says her son has been a victim of racism.
They slap in your head, they call you baldy, they call you Maltesers, and I'm like, that's not right. I should be speaking to the school, but he refused. He didn't want me to. The children are like my son. They don't have confidence in the school authority to actually do something concrete about it.
She told me she's worried that some teachers are part of the problem.
The teacher will be calling the register, and when they get to your name, they stop. I'm not even going to try and call that. And I think that's not nice. It's sort of demeaning for those children. If they can pronounce Schwarzenegger, which is all consonants, they should be able to pronounce my son's name. So I think it's the attitude among the teachers, is the attitude. So I think they need to do better than that.
The head teacher of Loughborough Grammar School for Boys accepts there is a problem with racism.
I've got to apologise to anybody, current or past pupil, who suffered in this way. It is obvious from the amount of testimony that we've received that there are issues that have not been satisfactorily addressed.
And why has it taken the school so long to acknowledge that there's a problem?
One of the challenges that we've got is to bring about a culture where we are able to speak about what we have gone through as pupils. And so making sure that we've got better ways for boys to report their experiences.
What's going to change now, and what can students expect going forward?
Well, it means, education. It means looking at the curriculum. It means looking at sanctions and policies. It means bringing in appropriate training for pupils and indeed for staff. It means thinking about how we get a staff body that is more representative.
Pressure is now mounting on the government to include Black history on the national curriculum. Just over 250,000 people have signed a petition.
And people are being educated on the presence of Black people in Britain in a capacity other than slavery, because they absolutely existed in positive light and they did amazing things. There were amazing Black scientists and inventors. And we believe that, there is a problem in the UK at the moment with race, and education is a fundamental aspect of helping race get talked about and confronting racism head on.
One boy who has his own clear views on what should be done is Zadine Irfan, and he's already presented his views to the board of King Edward Schools in Birmingham.
Introduced strict disciplinary procedures that not only punish students for racism, but also educate them. Secondly, we'd like pastoral structures that are representative of the pupils they serve. And thirdly, we'd like education on colonialism in schools. Education on race that focuses on Black people, not just as victims, but as artists, writers, authors, pioneers.
It's fantastic that we have such an articulate group of students that come forward and say, here are some changes that we'd like to make. And for us, that actually, it shows we're doing a good job. But it shows we can also do a better job. Our staffing can improve, of course our reporting systems can improve, and our curriculum can improve. So we're not saying we've got a big problem, but actually, we need to really go further to demonstrate our deep commitment to anti-racism.
The Edgbaston MP Preet Gill, who studied at Bourneville College, is amongst a cross-party group of politicians who think national curriculum changes are long overdue.
on one hand, we're very happy to celebrate the contributions people that come here have made, whether that's Sikhs, whether that's other communities from the Commonwealth, for example. But actually, when they're seeking to change the structure and the systemic racism that exists, then actually they feel they're invisible to policymakers and lawmakers. And I think that's the inherent issue here. We've got to address that. We can only do that by starting from education early on, teaching our children about a common shared history so that we don't have the divisions that we've seen.
In a statement, the Department of Education say that the curriculum in our schools is already diverse and gives access to different Black history topics across all year groups, and teaches children about significant Black, Asian and ethnic minority figures. The Black Lives Matter movement has given people the courage to share their stories, but many believe real change will happen through education. Balvinder Sidhu for ITV News.